Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christine with Pattercrafts, and today is day 4 of the 13 days of Halloween cards. Now, I do feel like I'm cheating a little because I'm using just pattern paper and stickers, but you know what? Sometimes those items are really fun to use. I have pretty much everything from the Booville collection as far as paper and icon stickers and mini icon stickers, and I really love the collection. So we're going to make 2 cards today for day 4 since it's pattern paper and stickers. So we are going to be making this card here using a sketch. When I'm using just pattern paper or lots of pattern papers and sketches and stickers, I like to use sketches. So I'm using this one here from My Favorite Things. And I've pretty much got all my pieces cut down. So this bottom part here is going to be at the very bottom. I'm just kind of figuring out like where all these items are going to lay and where to cut that busy pattern paper that's going to be fill up most of that front card. I'm using 110-pound Recollections white cardstock. You can pick this up at Michael's. I usually use a 50% off coupon on it. So if you're looking for some nice, heavyweight, inexpensive cardstock, that's one that you should try out. So this is where I'm just kind of putting the elements on, kind of debating where to put this die. And I also count like the little scallop parts because it kind of helps me center where that point goes a little bit better. So I have 5 scallops off the edge on one side, then I have 5 scallops off the edge on the other side. I can be pretty safe that that point is going to be centered. So I'm running that through my die cutting machine. I have a Doodlebug. Makes a lot of movement, so obviously I do not use that on this table. So for that bottom piece, I'm just putting some adhesive on 3 sides of the cardstock and putting it on the edge there. That way I know that all the edges of this piece of paper are cut, especially or are covered in adhesive, especially when it's going to be hanging over the card base where I'm going to make a cut. So we're going to go ahead and put this top panel on. Assembling this card once you cut down your pieces is very easy, and I think that's the case for most card sketches. Like once you figure out your measurements and everything's cut, assembly is easy enough. So on the sketch, it had this not quite as long, and it had like a little fishtail banner edge. I decided since this Happy Halloween was kind of big, I was just going to have it go edge to the card and then just cut off the excess on both sides. Easy enough. So for this little piece, I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive at the tip and debating how far I want that to go up, and then again I'm just going to cut the excess off there. I do decide to just finish putting the rest of the piece right here on the inside. And now I'm going to grab that icon sticker sheet and decide which 2 of my trick-or-treaters I want to put on. Now, I really liked the ghost in that mummy one, but with the white background, I was afraid that they would just not be seen. So I grabbed this little fairy girl, and then I'm trying to find another one that doesn't go off of that circle. So this little pirate boy was the choice. Adding some stars in that white space above them and a little bit of Wink of Stella to her fairy wings. Sometimes when I'm using just stickers, I like to add a little bit of Wink of Stella or sometimes some glossy accents on top just to give it a little extra sparkle and dimension. Then on the inside, I had that mini icon sheet, so I thought it would be fun to put 3 different trick-or-treaters on the inside. And of course, because the inside of the card base was white, I didn't think that the ghost and the mummy would show up. So I just decided to grab 3 of the trick-or-treaters that I do not have on the front. which is this Dracula, Frankenstein, and this skeleton. And that is it for card number 1. All right, so we will move on to card number 2. Now card number 2, I am using this sketch here from Operation Right Home. It is sketch 161. Now, it has measurements on it, but I also had some other measurements on it, and I haven't used it in a long time, so I don't know what I wrote on there for why. So I'm cutting down the pattern paper. I don't necessarily end up liking the way I put down to cut it, and again, I don't know why I did that. So anyway, that little strip there, I'm going to use this really fun rainbow diagonal stripe paper. And then for that little strip there, I'm looking through my scraps to see if I have something, because it says that it only needs to be about 3/4 of an inch by 1 inch. So I did not want to cut a entire 6x6 sheet of paper for something that was only 1 inch. So now I'm going to go ahead and assemble this card. Now at first I think this is going to go all the way over. I think there's going to be about a 1/4 inch border on the side, but it was cut shorter, so it didn't. And then I'm trying to figure out, because that rainbow strip was supposed to be 4 1/4 by 1 1/2, but I did not cut it at 1 1/2. So I'm going to grab the paper trimmer and cut that back down. Go ahead and adhere that just below that really fun trick or treat pattern to kind of make it look like there's a black border on the top. And then again, this green was a little too tall for that little bottom piece, so I'm just cutting some of that off. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down on the bottom. So I'm looking at this oval that I cut, and I'm thinking it's way too big. It's covering way more of the pattern paper than I want it to. So I'm looking for some oval dies that I have. This is the that was the second largest, so I'm going for the third, which is actually like the second smallest, if that makes sense. I don't know what the dimension is, but I like the way that comes out better. I am grabbing some Dusty Concord Distress ink because I feel like that white just kind of gets washed out a little bit on that background on the top. So I just want to put the edge with a little bit of this purple Distress ink. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and put that on the card. And now I'm going to grab my stickers again. I'm just going to use one of the trick-or-treaters, this little Frankenstein. I think he is so cute. And I wanted to add something to the little white spaces. All I could find that would really fit were these circle, like I don't know if they're like supposed to be just some hard candies, or maybe like that ball bubble gum. I don't know. Then I grab some Nuvo drops. These are crushed grape crystal drops. But I remembered I need to put a panel on the inside, so before I put those drops on, I want to make sure I get my inside panel done. So I just keep these white panels already cut down, ready to go. I always put one in when I'm using colored cardstock. and I'm adding 2 of the stickers from the sticker sheet. Love that lantern. Now I'm going to go ahead and just add 3 drops on that lower left-hand corner. And that is going to do it for card number 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more and you're not already, please hit that subscribe button. But until next time, everyone, bye.